Hello everyone and welcome back. In lesson 1 we mastered the path command to build solid parts. Now it's time to refine our design. Today we conquer the powerful bucket command. It's the fastest way to remove material and create holes in your 3D models. We'll also unlock the secrets of multipath and multi-pocket, showing you how to manage complex designs. This lesson is fundamental. Grab your mouse, let's open your CATIA and start cutting.
I got this magic in my fingertips, designing dreams with every click.
Hello everyone. In the previous lesson we talked about the path command. With this tool we could create a solid volume. After creating a volume, we may want to cut some parts of it. By cutting from the solid volume, we can remove the cut part. To do this, we use the pocket command. The method for using this tool is exactly like the path tool. To use this tool, we need a sketch as well as a solid body. The sketch determines which design will be used for the removal. Assume we now have a square box with a wall thickness of 15 mm. We want to open a window on one side of it. The shape of the window is a circle. The circle has a specific dimensions and location. First, we select that surface. Then we activate the sketch command. We enter the sketcher environment. We draw a circle. I give the circle dimensions and specify its location relative to the plane. I press the exit workbench command. I return to the part environment. Look, we now have a solid body in the shape of a hollow box and a circle. I'll activate the pocket command. The pocket definition window opens. You can see that all parts of this window are like the path definition window. An initial preview of what will happen is also shown on the screen. I click the preview button. Pay attention to the first limit section and its sub-options. In the type section, the word dimension is written. In the depth section, you see the value 20. I'll click the OK button. You can see that a circle hole has been created in the wall of the solid body. Now I select another surface of the body. I go to the sketcher environment. I'll draw a rectangle and give it dimensions. I return to the part environment. I give it volume with the path command. I'll give the height a value of 60 for example. I click the OK button. I select the top surface of the created rectangle. I go to the sketcher environment. I draw a circle and give it dimensions. I return to the part environment. I activate the pocket command. pay attention to the shape of the circle. Here you see two orange arrows. One of the arrows is related to the depth of the whole creation. Like the path command, you see two words next to it, lem1 and lem2. This arrow is in the direction perpendicular to the surface on which the sketch is located. The second orange arrow is on the circumference of the circle. This arrow is now pointing to the center of the circle. With this arrow, we determine whether the internal volume or the external volume of the cube should be removed. In the current state, I click OK. You can see that a cylinder has been removed from the cube. I double-click on the same pocket command in the tree view again. I click on the arrow to change its direction. As soon as the arrow's direction is changed, you can see that the outside of the cube has turned orange. I click on OK. You can see that the cube has been cleared and only a cylinder remains. Note that the button for this arrow in the pocket definition window is called reverse side. Now we will talk about two other similar tools. One of them is called multipad and the other is multi-pocket. These two tools are also exactly similar to each other. Assume we have a rectangular prism on the page. We'll enter the Sketcher environment with its top surface. I draw a rectangle, a circle, and a triangle. I exit the Sketcher environment and enter the part environment. All three shapes are in the selected state. Here, one point must be noted. Since all three shapes were drawn in the Sketcher environment in one go, the software considers them as a single sketch. I click outside the shapes so that the shapes turn white. I click on the last sketch in the tree view. You can see that all three geometric shapes have turned orange together. So, now you've come to the point that this is why we're constantly switching between the sketch and the part environments. Since the software considers all three shapes as one sketch, any command we run will affect all three shapes at the same time. Alright, I open the path subgroup. I activate the last command called multipath. The multipath definition window opens. This window is very similar to the path definition window. This window has two main sections, first limit and second limit. On each side there are three options at the top. These options are exactly like those in the path definition window. Now, both sections in the type option are set to dimension. If I click on the V symbol next to them, no other modes will open. This means that I can only extrude the shapes by giving them dimensions. The limit option is inactive. In the domain section, the names of all three geometric shapes are listed. In this section, in the third column, which is called thickness, the height value for each shape is listed. Currently, the value for all three is 0. I can place the mouse pointer over any of them. If I click on any row after placing the mouse pointer over it, that row turns blue. Now I click on the first row. This row turned blue. I changed the number in the framework next to length. You can see that the number in the thickness column for the blue row has changed. And if I also change the number in the length framework in the second limit section, you can see that its value is added to the initial number. And in the thickness section, their total is displayed. This means that the thickness section shows the total height value of the pad. I'll enter a value of 20 mm in the left framework and 30 mm in the right framework. Now, look at how the thickness value is shown as 50. With the same conditions and without changing other settings, I click OK. Look at the shape. First, only the triangle took volume. Second, you can see that it has been extruded 20 mm from one side and 30 mm from the other side. I double-click on Multipad 1 in the design tray again. I click on the second row in the Domains section so it turns blue. In the first limit section, I type a numerical value of 10 to the box next to length. I click on the third row. In the second limit section, I type a numerical value of 40 to the framework next to length. You can see that the other two shapes have each been extruded in one direction. I double-click on Multipad 1 again. In the Directions section, you can see that the Normal to Sketch is checked. If this checkmark is removed, we must define a direction for the extrusion to be down along it. Remember, the direction must be linear. A curve can't be introduced for the extrusion direction. The reverse direction button also reverses the direction of the extrusion. Now I click on Multipad 1 so it turns orange. I press the Delete key on the keyboard. The Delete window opens. In its Selection section, the name of the part that will be deleted is written. I click on OK. Multipad 1 and its sub-item, Sketch 2, have also been deleted. Now by pressing Ctrl+C, I go back a few steps. I keep pressing this key combination until only the sketches remain. I click on the multi-pocket command. I click on Sketch 2. The multi-pocket definition window opens. With a little attention, you can see that this window is exactly like the multipad window. Look now, none of the shapes are in the selected state. First I click on the command. Then I click on Sketch 2 in the tree view. The names of the shapes are recorded in the Domains section. Be careful that none of the geometrics in the Domains section are selected. In this state, I give a number in the box next to length. I click on OK. You can see that an error message appeared. If I close the window, you can see that nothing happened and no shape was extruded. In the design tree, sketch 2 is also faded. So, for pocket and pad, you must first select one of the shapes, then give a value for the command to be executed correctly. Now, if we want all three shapes to be extruded by the same amount, what shall we do? It's very simple. Use the pad command. I activate the pad command. In the selection section, I click on sketch 2. In the length section, I give a number. I click on OK. You can see that all three geometric shapes were extruded by the same amount. Alright, the lesson is finished here. Please watch the lesson twice. Practice with me the second time. Good luck, goodbye until the next lesson.
Let's build the future.